So we need to be interculturally sensitive with respect to the different countries' practices and their beliefs. Being in this industry, we are environmentally good, clean energy, but at the same time, you have to balance between the profit and the purpose. So what works for you? So you have to consider. So that could be something like a value engineering principles, which can help you in reducing the waste.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm Sunny Pancholi, and today we are privileged to host a visionary leader in the wind energy and digital engineering sectors, Mr. Meenakshisundaram Rajendran. With over 25 years of experience, Mr. Rajendran has been at the forefront of innovation and strategic growth within the wind energy sector. His remarkable leadership journey includes spearheading significant cost reduction initiatives, leading large-scale R&D teams, and pioneering digital strategies in engineering design. His contributions have played a pivotal role in shaping the future of renewable energy. Today, we are honored to delve into his inspiring journey, gain insights on leadership, and discuss the role of the sustainability in this dynamic industry. Mr. Rajendran, thank you for being with us today. It is a privilege to have you share your valuable insights and experiences with us.
Thanks a lot for your kind introduction. It was indeed my pleasure to be part of this journey and then had an opportunity to share my perspectives to the wider audience and on this episode. Thanks, Anil.
Mr. Rajendran, it's often said that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So, reflecting on a remarkable career in the wind energy sector spanning over 2.5 decades, what were some of the most defining moments or milestones that helped shape your journey? And throughout this journey, what were some of the key challenges you faced that ultimately contributed to your growth as both a leader and an innovator?
Yeah, thanks for an interesting question. So, the key turning point in my career was originally I was in a fossil business. So, there for a decade, I was there leading teams and as an expert. So, based on that successes and the commitments I had to the business, I got a good opportunity to move into the renewable industry. So, around 15 years back, I moved into this industry. So that time it was pretty new for me because I was from the different business. So initially there was a lot of challenges and staying ahead of the curve, and technology was different. And then also like that point in time, it was not that mature, the industry. But as I moved forward, the industry got mature in a much faster pace. Like I started with kilowatt class turbines. As we move forward, now it is in multi-megawatt, like 15, 20 megawatts is the single turbine. That time it was 850 kilowatts. So you can see the kind of growth it has over the last 15 years. It has increased efficiency, scale, everything has gone up in a big scale. So we have to adapt to that fast growing and fast moving things. So that is one of the key challenge I had to face in this journey. It is a new to me. At the same time, I had to cope up with the challenges. So that was one of the biggest challenge at that point in time. The other thing is we have this multi-location things where we have people across the geographies working for the same cause. So we need to align that, have a shared vision in terms of what we want to achieve over the horizon. So we need to be interculturally sensitive with respect to the different countries' practices and their beliefs and the way they work. So that would be different, as you know, right, between different countries. So we need to be aligned and then focus on what we want to achieve, the overall purpose. So that makes the guiding point for us to move forward. So then I also like diversity inclusion. So I was always in the of the belief that diversity is key in terms of how you want to achieve your results. If you have a group thinking, it may not be always good, right? So you need to have a diverse perspective so that we can drive something new, fresh ideas, everything will come. So I used to always bring people from different backgrounds, different experiences, different genders. So all these has helped and of course it was a rewarding challenge to be part of it. So these are some of the challenges, and then also like being in this industry, we are environmentally good, clean energy, but at the same time, it is you have to balance between the profit and the purpose. So they have to go hand in hand. Otherwise, it will be difficult to manage. Like you cannot just go for the purpose and lose the profit. So you have to go hand in hand. So these are some of the challenges which I have encountered. So there are a lot more, but yeah, these are some of the key things.
That's truly, truly inspiring, Mr. Rajendran. It's fascinating to hear how those experiences have shaped your leadership and vision for the future.
So based on this, I learned a lot of things like how we can be adaptable, how we can be resilient, how we can make sure that we collaborate and communicate, especially when we are working with multi-geographic locations. Your communication has to be very strong. So all these help me to be a leader as I am today.
Great to hear that, Mr. Rajendran. So, leading the innovation and strategy at Siemens Gamesa R&D Center must have been an incredibly rewarding experience for you, especially considering the responsibility of guiding over 1,200 engineers. So, I only imagine the challenges and moment of triumphs you have encountered in shaping the center's strategic vision. So, what was it like to spearhead such transformative initiatives? And how did you foster a culture of innovation and collaboration that brought those ideas to life?
Yeah. So this is another aspect of my career where, for example, like change leadership is very crucial when you have to do transformative initiatives, especially when we were from an industry where it is not that mature compared to the other industries. Like, for example, these are automobile or in the other industries, if you see, they are much more mature. Whereas the wind industry is not to that extent. So you need to be careful in terms of taking risks, and that too when you have to make these transformative changes. So you need to be means change management or change leadership has to be more. So you need to focus both the immediate aspect or what you want to achieve today versus the long term or the future goals. So both has to go hand in hand. Like basically what I meant to say is your mission has to follow your vision. So then only you can achieve this transformative shift, and then bring the people along with you in the way, so that they are without their support we cannot do much. So we need to bring the people with us. So that is one side. But on the other side, like fostering the culture of innovation. So this was crucial. That too, when we started this around some years back. So that time this COVID also came. So that created some kind of a disruption in terms of how we could collaborate, because we normally used to be collaborative, and then when we do face to face meetings, when we meet people in office, we get a lot of new ideas, right? When you are disconnected, doing innovation is a bit of a challenge. So for that we try to do certain online based brainstorming sessions, and then try to motivate people in terms of more towards the purpose rather than the features which we want to implement, right? Like for example, if I want to buy something, so that is for a purpose, that is for a need, not because some technology is good in that. So that kind of mindset we have to bring into the people, and then also let them know, like bringing things to real is much more than we see in paper. So these could make the things more interesting, and also like difficult at some times, to make sure that everybody aligns with the overall purpose, have a shared vision, especially when you are not in contact. So culture of trust, so that is another aspect of it, where when you are not seeing people face to face, so they need to believe, and you need to also have the what do you say, the other stakeholders, other department heads, they should also commit to the initiatives. Like it's not one department's wish or something, right? So you have multiple stakeholders from different disciplines like electrical, mechanical, power, loads, etc. So all of them have to come together, then only you can deliver a product which is truly innovative and then serves the purpose of our customers. So that is how we followed. And then we used to have something like a mantra, like observe, question, networking, experiment, and connect the puzzle. So that was like a mantra for our innovation activities. Like whatever you do, so basically you observe how the things are being done. Then if you have a doubt, then question. And then you use the networks. For example, you have experts, you have the supply chain specialists and logistics specialists. So go to them and then see how this can change the way you are designing. Then do small prototypes or small experiments so that you can visualize how your mind, whatever you are thinking, how it has come into real. And then connecting all this puzzle will give you the real product. So that was our mantra for fostering culture of innovation and building this. Yeah.
Great, Mr. Rajendran. It's amazing to hear how you created an environment where innovation could flourish, even in such a large and complex settings.
That's true.
Moving ahead, Mr. Rajendran, overseeing cost reduction projects in offshore turbines, especially in a field as complex as wind energy, is no easy feat. So, achieving savings while still maintaining high standards of quality and innovation is a delicate balance. So, what I would like to ask you is, what key strategies did you employ to ensure that these projects delivered both cost efficiency and cutting edge innovation? And how can other companies in the sector apply these lessons without compromising on their vision for the future?
Yeah. So there are few things which maybe we have to consider. Like it depends on the company to company how is their DNA is behaving in terms of innovation. So that is one of the paramount thing. Like there are certain means we may not be able to imitate everything from one, like from a software industry you cannot bring it to the wind industry. So what works for you, so you have to consider. So that could be something like a value engineering principles which can help you in reducing the waste. So that waste philosophy may be different from different industry. You have to adapt in terms of how your value stream or the life cycle goes from start till the end. What are the things you can eliminate? So that could be one of the thing. And then always we have to keep in mind in terms of the purpose or whom we are going to solve this problem. So defining the problem in a more crystallized structure way will help you in achieving the cost reductions in a great way. So for example, like you take the perspectives from different people, like for how this product when I design, how it will be used by my service technicians, how the people in installation are going to install, how for example it affects the safety of a person who is operating. So if you consider the multiple perspectives from different stakeholders who are going to use your product, so that will help you in developing a product that is for the purpose. At the same time you can also save costs. For example, you design a nice product where the material is up to mark, but if it involves a lot of effort from our service technicians or maintenance people, then it doesn't serve the purpose, or if it has safety hazards. So you need to have a common goal around the different aspects of it. So that is how we develop. So what we would like to tell others is, like I said, they should feel like how my structure is placed and how I can bring the different people into the system. So that is one of the thing. Then there could be also possibility that you can collaborate with the external ecosystems, because nowadays that is something which is very vital, especially in large industries like the wind industry, where you have multiple possibilities. Like you can collaborate with universities, you can collaborate with nodal agencies like what we have in India, like NIVE or CWET, which is used to call. So those kind of collaboration with multiple stakeholders, because it's a, let's say, multi-million dollar kind of a projects. So where you may not be able to do all experiments by yourself. So try to collaborate with external ecosystems, be it universities, external labs, or these kind of nodal agencies. So that could be one of the thing where you can drive down cost. At the same time, identify the risks early in the project will be the one of the very key thing to reduce the cost. Like for example, what we used to say in wind is, like if you want to make a change in the beginning, it may be 10% when you are in the design, but when you want to do a change when it is up for installation, that maybe it is more than 100%. Like, because you need ships and then cranes and everything, so it increases the cost enormously. So these are some of the tips I thought maybe I can share.
That's truly impressive, Mr. Rajendran. It's clear that striking that balance between cost efficiency and innovation requires a lot of strategic thinking.
Definitely.
So, Mr. Rajendran, offshore wind farms are quickly becoming a game changer in the renewable energy sector, offering the potential for high energy yields, but also bringing with them unique challenges, of course, especially in terms of installation in harsh marine environments.
Correct.
So, given your extensive experience, how do you see the future of offshore wind energy evolving? And what innovative solutions have you been part of in overcoming these logistical challenges to make these ambitious projects a reality?
Yeah, so in especially what are the new opportunities in wind? There are plenty of opportunities coming in the wind sector, because now the hardly means hard to abate industries like cement or steel, they also are coming, and like, who are not our customers in the past, right? Previously our customers are typically the utility companies like NTPC, PGCIL, those kind of things, but now we are having new customers in terms of steel industry, cement industry, or those kind of other hard to abate industries. So that is one of the good thing to see from a climate perspective, to have more opportunities wherein wind can be a big player to decarbonize the planet. So that is one aspect of it. The other aspect within the wind industry itself, if you see, like, you have a lot of new things coming, like floating turbines are coming. This is coming again because of the same reason I mentioned before. Like, you need a lot of power, which not necessarily to power our houses, but to power, for example, ships or aircrafts, because this may be the case 10 years down the line. Maybe you will have an aircraft coming into the sea and then get powered with green fuels. So those kind of things are happening. So you need wind turbines inside the sea, which we were not able to install in the deep waters currently. So that is called floating turbine. So that innovations in that front is very necessary or evolving currently. And the other one is the energy storage, where we are converting power to the other mediums like green hydrogen, green ammonia. Like, for example, this green ammonia can be utilized as a fertilizers in agriculture industry, or could be used in ships also for as fuels. So these are the new avenues coming. And then for all these avenues to work, there is one other thing which we need to be taking care is the grid. So whatever grid we have today, they may not be able to cater to all these new things which are coming up. So stability in the grid, either in the use of high voltage direct current or HVDC systems. So that is something which will play a key role in the future. So these are some of the opportunities. There are plenty of opportunities in the wind sector to decarbonize, because this is the only thing which is helping. So this is with respect to the opportunities. If you see on the other side, the challenges, like I said, grid is one of the challenge. The other challenges could be like how we can make things modular, or overcoming this challenge, like how we can make the things modular so that you can assemble certain things near the harbor and then ship it, so that you reduce the amount of time crane is being used in the offshore, because that is one of the critical cost in the overall scheme of things. So modular structures you can build grids, you can have energy storage systems, so that the current, let's say, the bad thing or the thing which people don't like about wind is the intermittency, because you cannot have a power on a continuous basis. Only when you have wind you will have, but that can also be eliminated by using the energy storage systems. So these are some of the solutions which we have, or which is evolving over the years. And one thing we have to be clear in the overall scheme of thing is, see, whatever wind turbines we have produced so far today, and whatever we are going to produce in the next 5 to 10 years, will be much more. The volume, the scale, everything will be very high, and the speed of development will be like whatever development we are seeing. So this has happened over last 40 years. It started in 1980s and now in 25. So it happened over 40 years. This 40 years will be squeezed to next 5 to 10 years. to decarbonize and then have this net zero, all these things coming into play. So that is the much bigger challenge. And we have solutions available, but we need the support from the policymakers, governments, and the entire industry to move forward. That's how I see it.
Absolutely. Rightly said, Mr. Rajendran. And it's clear that while offshore wind energy presents incredible potential, the challenges you have mentioned really require cutting edge solutions.
Definitely.
So, moving on to the next question, Mr. Rajendran, as you look to the future, what are your aspirations for your career? And how do you see yourself shaping decisions and driving meaningful impact in leadership or the boardroom? So, me, along with our audiences, would love to hear what excites you most about the journey ahead.
Yeah, this is kind of very interesting and a question where I should have a reflection of what I had, how I had come so far, and then how I would aspire to be. So, over this last 25 years, I have been doing different things where I had learned adaptability, collaborative, influential, resilience, all these we have, or I had learned. So now I had to see how this can be utilized in the future, or how that makes sense, because that is what the thing is. Because whatever I have done so far, like I said, with respect to the industry growth, same happens to me as a person as well. So the next 10 years would be a very big game changer in terms of the new, because it's going to be a new chapter with a lot of technological advancements, as well as the, let's say, the governance, ethical standards, because we are right now seeing a lot of growth, means importance around ESG. Like, even though wind is a clean energy, but still, how you generate that energy, how your suppliers are developing those products, and what are the ethical standards you follow, and how you are helping the society in terms of bringing jobs to them, making clean energy for the underprivileged or the new underdeveloped areas. So all these play a role in terms of how this is going to evolve. So my role in my next senior level role, or a board seat in the board, what I see is to be taking, means it's not going to be purely technological thing which will make sense. So it has to be a balance between technology and then how we serve the purpose for the society, how we are making things transparent. And then, because right now if you see, there are a lot of things happening which may not be 100% true. Maybe in future you may have to show, like, whatever energy you are using, it is purely green. We cannot just say I am using wind. So if the wind company who is producing, if they are not following the societal principles or environmental principles, then whatever we are using, it's not green. So you have to be much more broader in terms of how that is going to govern the future things. So I would love to be in the role, kind of a senior leadership role or a board position, where I can contribute in terms of bringing the different stakeholders, be it technology people or maybe the policy makers or the environmentalists or local community, bringing all of them together so that we make something which is meaningful. And so I basically thought of leaving a legacy in such a way that successful projects alone may not leave a legacy. So you need to leave something wherein you make, like, there should not be energy trilemma. So right now we say reliable, affordable, and secured power is our goal. So if that, instead of that trilemma, if we say that this is something which we have achieved, so that kind of a legacy is what I think would make sense in my future.
Amazing, amazing, Mr. Rajendran, and that's such an insightful outlook.
Thank you.
So, since we are talking about ESG, environment, and society and governance things, so let me ask my next question on the same subject or the topic. ESG also is becoming an increasingly important focus in industries worldwide.
Yeah.
That stays relevant here. So, how do you see ESG principles shaping the future of the wind energy sector? And what role do you believe leaders like yourself play in driving these initiatives forward?
Yeah, so in terms of ESG, so on one side we are environmentally making sure we produce clean energy that is helping to decarbonize and then make the planet net zero. All these things we are helping, but on the other side, the industry itself has to make sure that whatever we do, they follow this ESG principle. For example, we make things which are environmentally good, like one of the thing is like in the onshore wind turbines, if you see in some countries you have migratory birds coming, so we should be in a position where we don't stop or hinder those migratory birds. So that is one aspect. And in some western countries, people say wind turbine produce a lot of noise. I don't know, so that is something which also needs to be taken care. We should not disturb the local communities in terms of the noise it is produced. So there are a lot of innovations you can have which can be a sustainable one, so that the communities also use the wind turbine, at the same time it doesn't disturb them. And then biodiversity, like as we speak, like we think there will be lot more and more offshore turbines coming, but at the same time it will have we need to be aware that it may have an impact in terms of how the underwater species it will affect as we go for deeper and deeper deep waters. So this may have an impact in the underwater species. So these are something on the environmental side. On the societal, need to be clear on how we can make sure to bring the diverse group of people into the system. In general, this was mostly dominated by, let's say, male, but there are plenty of opportunities available even in the wind sector for the women employees. So there are a lot of things possible, and also from the people from diverse background, diverse cultures. So that is not only be beneficial for the wind, but it will be beneficial for the society as a whole. So diversity could be the thing, and biodiversity. So and then governance principles, like, yes, so you need to be transparent, accountable in terms of what you deliver. Like for example, if I am the OEM or the original equipment manufacturer, then I need to be sure that how I procure the different components which I am using. So that may be possible only through a transparent and accountable relationship with your suppliers and then other stakeholders, so that whatever we say that it is green, it is clean, so that makes sense. So for that, governance principles play a significant role in terms of how this is going to evolve. So overall, in the sense, I feel means in the short term, sometimes it may look ESG is too demanding, but what I feel is if you have to be a sustainable thing and you want to leave a legacy to your next generation or your children, so if you follow ESG, it will be very valuable. That's what I feel.
Rightly said, Mr. Sundaran. And it's inspiring to hear how ESG is driving real change in the wind energy sector. Okay, so that brings us to the last question of the particular podcast. And let me ask you, Mr. Rajendran, you have been a part of Directors Institute, and we would love to know how has your experience with the institute been so far, and what value have you found in the course or community it provides?
Yeah. So thanks for this, and I would say that it has helped me a lot in terms of corporate governance and strategic decision making. All those things were quite intensely covered with different scenarios, different case studies. So I was able to get a grasp on corporate governance and these things in a much better way. And in fact, the other aspects like board dynamics, stakeholder relationships, all these also play a significant role. So these and all these things, with the help of different case studies which we have been seeing in the corporate world, and also the live sessions by some of the experts, so that was quite incredible, because you come to know, like, we know there are certain things happening, but we don't know the background of why this has happened, how this has impacted the corporate governance. So some of the big industries or big players in our Indian ecosystem, like one of the example I would say is, everybody knows this Bhopal tragedy, but nobody knows how this as a role in terms of corporate governance, corporate ethics, like ESG principles, whatever we are speaking today. In 1984, we don't know how it was, but we were able to hear from some of the experts in terms of what was the problem which happened in those years and what was a miss we had done. So all these case studies and scenarios, they helped me a lot, and also the different tools and different tools, study material, all this, they were all really helpful. So making my journey in the next level is helping a lot.
Great to hear that, Mr. Rajendran, how Directors Institute has been impactful for you. Great. So, Mr. Rajendran,
Thank
it's been
you.
an absolute pleasure hearing your insights today. Your journey in the renewable energy sector and your commitment to innovation and leadership are truly, truly inspiring. And we are grateful for the opportunity to learn from your experiences. So, thank you so much for joining us on FaceTime with Leaders. And I'm sure your story will continue to inspire many others in the industry. So, we look forward to seeing all the incredible things you have achieved in the future.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity. I hope we will continue to see the how the industry is evolving, and then we contribute our part to making this more reliable, equitable for the next generation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you once again, and to all the viewers viewing this. Until next time, thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Thank you so much.